Good morning, good day, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all races, ages, genders, sexual orientations, religions, etc. Today I'm going to be talking about another astronaut. Someone who I've heard about in my younger days due to similar interests from the previous astronaut I covered. The main reason why I knew about him is because of a disastrous event that happened in his life nearly 40 years ago. He is a man of intellect, athleticism, and dedication to success. I'm talking, of course, about Ronald McNair. One may ask, to his or herself, who is Ronald McNair? And what happened that was so disastrous? Well, Ronald Irwin McNair was born on the 21st of October, 1950, in Lake City, South Carolina. He was the son of Pearl and Carl McNair, and brother to Carl and Eric McNair. He would unfortunately grow up in a low-income house with hardly any running water and electricity. The family would later move to a better home, though it was still a low-quality home. Growing up in South Carolina as a black male unfortunately meant dealing with racial segregation and hate. This was demonstrated when at the young age of 9, McNair walked to a local library without the knowledge of his older brother or his parents. He did this to further explore his interest in science, a topic of interest to him even at his young age. As he was attempting to check out a book, the librarian refused to serve him, stating, "This library is not for coloreds." Instead of fleeing, he decided to wait despite her threat to call the police. She eventually did call the police to the location, as well as his mother, Pearl, to handle the situation. When the police arrived, instead of inappropriately handling the situation, the officers and Pearl convinced the librarian to allow the young McNair to check out the book, especially considering the fact that he was a polite young man. Even more showing of the polite young man that he was, his mother asked him, "What do you say?" in reference to the librarian, to which he replied, "Thank you, ma'am." McNair would graduate from Carver High School in 1967. He would later attend North Carolina A&T in Greensboro, North Carolina, under the tutelage of Donald Edwards, who was a founding chair of the physics department at the institution. McNair would graduate magna cum laude in 1971 with a Bachelor of Science degree in engineering physics. He would further his education by earning his PhD in physics from MIT under Michael Feld in 1978. He was also a member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Similar to Guy Bluford, McNair was selected as one of 35 applicants from a pool of 10,000 for NASA's Astronaut Group 8 in 1978. This is greatly influenced by Nichelle Nichols, who was instrumental in NASA's recruitment efforts to increase the number of minority and female astronauts. In 1984, McNair would serve as a mission specialist on board the STS-41 Bravo from the 3rd of February to the 11th. This mission sought to deploy 2 communication satellites. This mission was best known not only as McNair being the second black American to go into space, but also including the first untethered spacewalk, bravely done by Bruce McCandless II and Robert Stewart. Following the STS-41 Bravo mission, McNair was again selected as one of 3 mission specialists for the STS-51 Lima mission aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger. On the 28th of January, 1986, the 7 personnel, including McNair and Krista McAuliffe, a schoolteacher, were scheduled to launch at the Kennedy Space Center to deploy a communication satellite and study Halley's Comet. The mission, having faced many questions and setbacks, was allowed to continue forward, despite warnings from NASA engineers of test data gathered since 1977 demonstrating a potentially catastrophic flaw in the SRB's O-rings launching in cold temperatures. The shuttle launched at 11:38 hours. Roughly 73 seconds after the launch, the shuttle exploded, resulting in the deaths of all 7 crew members. Some reports indicate that some did not meet a quick death, as their cabin was free falling back to the surface and had to endure falling to their death 14 kilometers in the air. This report, however, is inconclusive, as there is no official time of death for the crew. Ronald McNair was initially buried at Restlawn Memorial Park in Lake City, South Carolina, though he would later be moved to a memorial park named after him in 2004 elsewhere in Lake City. McNair received many posthumous honors in his name, including the McNair Crater on the far side of the moon, numerous primary and secondary education institutions, including one in Greensboro, North Carolina, and various musical honors. Though it had to come at the unfortunate yet preventable demise of all 7 crew members, NASA implemented tighter safety regulations for future missions following the disaster. Thank you for watching this video. It's hard to believe that the Challenger disaster happened almost 40 years ago, come the 28th of January. He truly was a one-of-a-kind individual for his ability to put his intellect and athleticism together to become a better man. It takes a lot of discipline to make both of those happen. May those who lost their lives aboard the Challenger rest in eternal peace, and may their names live on forever. Lastly, I hope this serves as a reminder to trust your experts. This, and in more recent times, more specifically the OceanGate incident, involved ignoring warnings of potential disasters from technical experts. There is a reason they're giving a heads up about a potential flaw, so it's best to trust them before it's too late. Other than that, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, make good decisions, and have a wonderful rest of your day.